Well, one of the things we're always eager to take a look at is how a new president is performing in office. And given that there's been such turmoil around the election, it's interesting to note that Joe Biden, in terms of likability, is doing reasonably well. More people say that they have a favorable opinion of him than don't. And we followed up with a question we've not asked before, but it has to do with who do you trust to tell you the truth when they're talking about what's happening with the country. And you could answer for each of the people and organizations we asked about: high trust, medium trust, or low trust. And Joe Biden gets a majority, a big majority, saying that they either have high trust or medium trust. We kind of wanted to cast a net over the landscape of the country and see whether people have a sense that things are mostly good or mostly bad in the way things are moving forward today. And two things from our list really stuck out. And one was a strong belief that what is good is happening in terms of the ability to get ahead with hard work. And that was 59% of our respondents said that that was something that they felt was good in our country right now. That value is in good standing. On the other side, mostly bad, the strongest finding we had was for race relations, with 64% saying they think things are mostly bad. So one of the things that the faculty at Grinnell College are especially interested in is the state of our democracy, this American experiment. And so we took a series of ideas that are associated with democracy, especially as it plays out in the US, to say, well, really, how important are these to you personally? And we saw strong alignment on four key issues involving free speech and involving the transfer of power, about free and fair elections, and about all people being treated equally. There was almost universally people saying those are very important. So then we followed up to say, well, how's the US doing? Kind of let's check in with kind of a report card on how they're doing. And of all of the items that we tested, there was only one where it was not a majority giving a lower grade, saying just fair or poor. There was only one item, and the one item that was there is in the right to keep and bear arms. From the beginning of the Grinnell College National Poll, we've been checking in with the public about their perceptions of vote counting and whether they have confidence that votes in an upcoming election would be counted accurately, or maybe not so much. So what we have found is people were mostly confident, that they were very or somewhat confident rather than not very or not at all confident. And that was in 2019 when we first started polling that question. If anything, Republicans were more likely to say that they were very or somewhat confident until this poll. And here we found that Republicans just, to call it a nosedive might be a bit much, but it dropped from about 80% saying they were very or somewhat confident down to 36%. And by comparison, that's half where Democrats are. If anything, Democrats have ticked up a little bit, with 72% saying they're very or somewhat confident that votes will be counted correctly. So that's a 2-to-1 difference between the two parties, and I think pretty emblematic of the fallout from the 2020 presidential election.